Hi, I'm Chris and we are JCD. In this week's episode, we finally get round to finishing our office cleanup. We're visiting a friend of the channel and one of the biggest suppliers of cleaning chemicals in the southeast, and we release our biggest ever podcast episode with an absolute rock star of the cleaning industry. Let's roll the footage. What is happening, team? Welcome back to another episode of We Are JCD. I'm not sure what episode number this is, but we're well into the 50s now. I am down at HQ all of today. The weekend, nothing exciting happened, chilled out, nothing too crazy going on. No hangovers, you'll be pleased to know. I've got down to HQ, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, but finally, we've managed to get it all cleaned up and ready for our new starters coming on in October, and just making it look a lot more presentable than it was. So I'm going to quickly give you guys a show round with some B-roll. Let's go. I'm pleased that we finally managed to get around to tidying the office. We're going to do a few other bits and pieces as well. We're going to get some hopefully new kitchen shelves up on the top there. As I say, when COVID happened, everyone sort of moved to that working from home model, so it doesn't actually get used that often down here. But we're going to start using it. From October, we've got our new GM starting, we've got new admin assistant starting, so I am going to have a lot more people in the office, and I'm going to make sure that the team are working more in the office, which is controversial, but it's just how we're going to run our business. I have been burnt on 3 or 4 occasions now with working from home, so we're going to adopt a hybrid method for now and see how it goes on. Obviously measured on results, so we'll just have to see how that one pans out. The rest of today, I am actually down at HQ. I've got Adam coming down for a little bit as well. We just need to do some bits and pieces, film some intros and some other bits and pieces, so he's coming down to see me, and I'm spending the rest of the day down at JCD HQ. So yeah, tomorrow I'm going to see Ollie Rastall at some point this week. I'm not quite sure of date yet. Say there's plenty going on with the JCD and Grey Water team, so I'll keep you guys updated. But that's going to be a short intro to Monday. Look forward to seeing you guys on the rest of the week. What is happening, team? It is Tuesday, and as you can see, we are not at Guildford HQ, nor are we at JCD HQ. We've taken the short drive, about an hour and 15 minutes, to Source HQ. For those of you that don't know, Source are a janitorial supply company supplying chemicals, paper products to the cleaning industry. Our good friend of the channel, Ollie Rastall, is here. I had a chat with him last week, said we haven't caught up for a while, so I said we would come over, say hello, have a look around Source HQ, and then have a catch up over some food. So we've just got here now. I'm going to head inside and see what Mr. Rastall is up to. Let's go. So we popped over to see my friend and colleague Ollie Rastall at Source. Source is a janitorial supply company. They are based, where are we? Surrey.
Camberley, Surrey, yeah.
Surrey, money area. So Ollie, tell us a little bit about Source.
Well, I mean, in a nutshell, we do the logistics really for contract cleaners by sending all the consumables to their site. Yeah. We also sell direct to end users like education sector or offices, whatever. But essentially, the glamorous parts of cleaning, which are the products, I suppose: toilet roll, hand towels, chemicals, textiles, all the stuff which see behind us, mate.
Keep us cleaning companies going, and Source are an ultra environmentally friendly company. Tell us about some of the initiatives you've got going on with your vehicles.
We try. It's work in progress. Yeah. It's by no means by no means a benchmark for it, but we're trying. So we've implemented solar panels. We've got 80-something solar panels, which enables us to create a renewable energy source for our vans. We've got 3 electric vans which go to London predominantly in the home counties every day. Me and Dave both run electric vehicles as well for our personal cars. And then we just try and have a good sustainable product offering for our customers, really. Generally, we find that the market is moving that way anyway, but we're trying to be at the front of that change as much as possible, really. Yeah, like I said, it's a long game, but we've implemented a few things which I think are definitely helping.
Any products that are in the market I need to know about that we should be keeping an eye on, should be using in the business?
For sustainability, yeah, I think, well, for us, from a paper point of view, Catron have been, for us, the benchmark for sustainable products in terms of paper consumables. So much so that they probably don't even know for a long time how good they are. I mean, in Scandinavia, where is the origin of their products, they've been doing what we aspire to do for years in their supply chain.
Well ahead of the game.
Well ahead of the game. So much so they probably take it for granted or they normalise it. So for us, paper consumables, we always lean towards Catron. Some new players in the commercial cleaning chemical market would be some like SoluClean, who we have got a lot of product with at the moment.
They're sachet-based, aren't they?
That's the sachet product which helps reduce bulky, mainly water-based products going out on a frequent basis. A smaller product in a smaller packet means that you just use the water on the site. And therefore people can stock more in their cupboards, have less orders with us, less transport miles. There's so many ramifications from ordering on a sachet basis, or from a super concentrate. If you don't want to have a sachet dissolving, you could just use a super concentrate, which again has been around for years, and that comes in the form of V-Mix from Selden, or Tech Care products like Control, eCadet. So those are the kind of products that we would steer people down. And then textiles, some like Scott Young Research, they have a good line of recycled products where they'll be using, old plastic bottles or plastic-based products to be repurposed into everyday textile products like sponges, scourers, twine, mop heads, all that sort of stuff.
So there's lots going on at the moment, which is good.
Loads. If customers want it, we can do it. It's driving that change, really. That sometimes is the biggest reason for speed, is the implementation from our customer. Sometimes they want it and they're bang up for it. Other times it needs a little bit more.
Do you find it's mainly the bigger companies that are going down that sort of route, or is it going across the board now?
I think it's more across the board now.
Which is good to see, right?
Yeah, so we supply a lot of schools or colleges, and they're interested. They're now proactively looking for the product which is going to give them a smaller carbon footprint, whereas in the last year even, it would have to be me or someone from the source team who initiates that conversation. Do you know what I mean? And I think now it's becoming actually what you got. So it changed, but it's slow change.
Always hard to do, right?
It is, mate, it is.
Well, it's always good to catch up with our friend and colleagues, and thank you for Ollie for having me and Adam down at Source. We're going to head back in the car and head down to JCD HQ now, so I'll see you guys in a minute. We finished with the team down at Source. Thank you to Ollie Rastall, who is a business associate of mine and friend. He's a top guy. I haven't caught up with him for a while, so I thought I'd make the trip up and come and say hello, and appreciate him taking the time to show us around. For those of you that subscribe to the podcast channel, which should be all of you now, Cleaning Up Business Podcast on YouTube and all your favourite podcast platforms, Ollie has been a guest, so go back and have a look at that, and he'll tell you a little about his journey and what they've got going on here at Source. We've also played some golf with Ollie, which was fantastic, and we've also planning a special podcast episode which Ollie is going to be involved in, but I'm not going to give too much away about that just yet. So that's going to wrap up our time in Surrey. I'm going from this and I'm going out now to a drainage job this afternoon for a survey. So I'm going to get changed, get back down to HQ, and then go and have a look at this drain. Yes, team, didn't have to go and do that drainage job in the end. I was going to have to go and do a blockage. Customer called me. I actually unblocked that drain a week or so ago. They thought there was something wrong with the mains, so they've had some water out. There's a rod down there, apparently, domestic one. So I've got to go and get it back tomorrow. It's definitely not me, so don't think, I bet that was you, because I jetted it because they had said that they tried to clear it with a rod and they was unsuccessful. So I jetted it clear, but apparently down near the mains, there is a rod in there. So I am going to have to, well, I'll say that, Mitchell and John are going to have to go and get that back tomorrow. It's a nice day today to go and see Ollie at Source. That sun is awfully bright. I'm going to meet with the boys tomorrow. We are going to do that rod retrieval in the morning. They're going to get on with their bits and pieces. So I'm also meeting our new manager tomorrow, just for a bit of a catch up. I'm also going to introduce him to Sharon briefly, just start to get the ball rolling with all them bits and pieces so he can hit the ground running when he comes. I'm at one of our contracts at the moment. We had to do a decom clean here, but as part of that we had to remove some rubbish that had become some contaminated. So I just come in and met the guys, just give them a hand, just showed them what needs to come out and what didn't. We put our protective shoes on, used the back exit, etc., and it's been cleaned down. The boys are getting on with a deep clean in there. It was when we had some rain the other week and the sewers were back surging. So we have to get that clean. Tomorrow we've got a big podcast release. Jordan Hurley, owner of Soap 2.0, his episode is out tomorrow. I've been super looking forward to that one. I've had a few chats with Jordan after that. Top guy, like him a lot, like what he's doing, and we wish him every success, and hopefully his episode will do well. I don't think I mentioned it so far yet this week. The weekend we had our first viral clip from our podcast. Actually, it wasn't the channel at the moment. Adam, chuck it on here. The clip has done 3.5 million views, and our subscriber base on TikTok, which is where this particular clip went viral, they've jumped up by nearly 3,500 followers in a couple of days, which is interesting. I know TikTok's a bit of a renowned platform. Sometimes you just hit something and hit the nail on the head and it just goes mad, which this one has. But yeah, that was interesting to see. First time it's happened to us. Shame it hasn't happened on YouTube yet. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, but I'm sure it will over time. As I say, this is a long-term investment. But I actually looked on the channel the other day. We've done over 250 videos, which is mad. Really, most people don't have that consistency, and I say all the time, success is hard work, long period of time, or consistent, either or either, equals the result. So I'm sure we'll get there in the end and we'll go viral. We'll have 100,000 subscribers on YouTube eventually. So that wraps up today. I will see you guys in the morning where we're going to have to go and get that rod back. Good morning, team. It is Wednesday. A bit of good news. I had to run and help Mitchell and John on a job. They were at a job where a contractor had had a go themselves at a block drain and they had got a set of domestic rods stuck. We've got a new tool to retrieve rods. So I went down, gave them a hand, and we managed to get those back. Adam, we'll put some pictures on the screen here for you guys to have a look at. Happens, to be honest, more often than not when people will have a go heroes. Understand, obviously, don't want the cost of a drain repair, but it's more costly if you get a pair of rods stuck down the drain than it would be for us to come and jet it ourselves or use our own rods. Because what people have to do is, ours are lock fast, so if no matter what way you turn them, they don't come undone. And people have a habit, they turn them left, and unfortunately, because they're cheap, they unscrew. More importantly today, I've said on a couple of occasions, we have got a new general manager starting. What will he be doing? His name is Gary. He is coming from another cleaning company. He's familiar with the industry. He is going to be starting with us in October. He will be heading up all of our operations. I say this all the time. What separates a good cleaning company from the one next door? We can say all the sales pieces, all the USPs, we're environmentally friendly and all this good stuff. The bottom line is it's all about quality on the ground, what you do day to day. And we need to focus on that to make sure we're number one in our field. So Gary is going to come on. He's going to take over all the operations because Sharon is just run ragged at the moment. So it's going to give her a bit of a break to focus on what she should be doing. And then Gary will be heading up operations. So we had a meeting early this morning with Sharon, me and Gary just to understand who's doing what expectations are moving forward. And to be honest with you, I've got a real good feeling about this particular role. I think it's going to be one of those things where I say to myself, why didn't we do that sooner? And I don't really know the answer to that yet, but we are investing in that role now. I'll be honest with you guys, the rest of the day, I've got a relatively relaxed day. I'm going to be in the office catching up with some bits and pieces that I need to do. We're still trying to recruit for our admin assistant. That is not proving fruitful just yet. So I need to jump on top of that. So I'm going to keep up with all this. Someone keeps calling me, so I'm going to jump off and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for Thursday. Yes, team. Thursday. We are down at JCD HQ. Still looking nice and clean. I've just literally got down to JCD HQ. Quickly run and paid some checks in around the corner. Still baffles me how clients pay checks, but some do. Let me put my secret code in to get me into the office. Good meeting yesterday with our new GM. and Sharon, a few other bits and pieces. I've got one of our drainage engineers off from tomorrow. Sharon and Don are also on holiday from tomorrow, so we're up against it next week. I was meant to have a big project start next week as well at Great Ormond Street Hospital, which we are going to film and do a separate video on, but that has been moved back. Typical construction model, and they are not ready. But to be honest with you guys, that probably suits us because, as I say, we've got plenty of other stuff going on. I'm going to spend the most of the morning down in the office. I've got loads of paperwork to catch up on, some interviews to arrange for an admin staff, which Gary, our new GM, is going to come and do with me. So yeah, there's plenty going on. We've also got a special guest podcast coming up soon. I'm not going to give away too much detail, but the guest, you guys are probably not going to expect. It's going to be a good one. So, I'm going to plug my laptop in, crack on with what I've got to do down here, and I'll check in with you guys a little bit later.
Some time later.
Yes, team. Productive day at JCD HQ. I have literally been on the laptop all day, but some days are more productive than others when you're in the office all day, but I've had a good day today, that's for sure. I was going to do some talking head pieces, but didn't get round it. What I'm going to do, we've set up downstairs a new talking head piece, and what I'm actually doing, I'm going to have this office refurbished. What we're doing, we're moving the podcast studio over there, we have a media wall across here, and then I'll also be able to do some talking head stuff upstairs. Didn't get round to it today, but I did get lots of paperwork today. So a little bit of a quiet day in terms of content and footage, but we take the rough with the smooth. I'm getting off now, I'm going to get back home, I'm going to carry on doing some paperwork. I've got Mitchell off tomorrow, which is a bit of a headache, to be honest, but everyone's entitled to holiday, of course, so hope he has a good time. I am going to go out on the tanker tomorrow, I think. John, our other drainage engineer, is going to be out doing some surveying. Sharon and Don are off on a well-deserved holiday. So it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks. But I'm sure we'll get through it. I'm sure we'll survive. So yeah, that's going to wrap up today, guys. And today is Thursday. So we're back in tomorrow for the final day of the week, Friday. See you guys then. Good morning, gang. Friday, we made it, end of another week. I know everyone's favourite day is a Friday. Don't really make no odds to me, Fridays. Don't really get that feeling, to be honest. Just all the days seem to blend into one. But anyway, we're at the end of the week. It's been a relatively quiet week for me personally. Not much going on, just been getting on with lots of office and admin work. Got a few changes coming on in JCD, which you guys know about, and I think that was going to be a real big catalyst for how things go moving forward. Had a positive meeting with a couple of drainage clients this week. That continues to grow. I am in my mind contemplating scaling up again with that. I know we've had a big jump recently with staff. I'm contemplating having to do it again. And giving some thought to lots of process improvement stuff in the background for JCD cleaning. We've had the nod on a few big jobs today, so we should be able to, need to get better at getting the guys filming jobs for you guys, because we're doing jobs every single day. This is about the process and showing what we do as a business, and it's becoming a little bit Chris heavy, and I know you all like seeing my face. I want to be able to show you guys what's going on, what we're up to, and what we're actually delivering on the ground. So we're going to have a big shift around with that. In the very, very near future, we've got a big bakery coming up that we've got to do a clean on. We've got a couple of school deep cleans that we've got to do, high level stuff, and everything else in between. So it's super busy for both businesses at the moment. And then we've got our new management team starting in October, which I am getting ready for. We're going to have a meeting with James Eaton, who does all of our digital stuff, because we are also looking at lots of process improvement in those areas. So it's all go at the moment, which is good, and I feel in a real positive place, and I am actually really looking forward to the next stage of growth for the business. Rest of the day today, I have got to go and meet a customer shortly. I'll go and do that, but that's nothing out of the ordinary, just to make sure everything's okay. But it's been a positive week, to be honest. I'm hoping to film some filming head stuff next week. I was meant to be on a podcast next week, but they just told me it's cancelled, so that's not going to be going ahead, which is a shame. But one of our drainage engineers, Mitchell, is actually on holiday next week. We've obviously got John, and he's capable of being out on his own. But the job that these lads do, it needs two people from a health and safety perspective, ideally. It can be done on your own, but just needs a little bit more care and attention. Whereas there's two of you, you've got two sets of eyes. So I'm going to be doing a lot of that next week, and I'm going to film some of that for you guys so you can see what goes on that side of things. So yeah, we had a Jordan Hurley podcast released, and that has gone super well, as I suspected. So if you guys haven't seen that episode, I want you to go onto YouTube, type in the Cleaning Up Business podcast, and go and have a look at the Jordan Hurley episode. This is what it really takes in business. Lots of failures, but people don't see. All that people see is success, and I knew this episode would do particularly well because Jordan's a great guy, great business model, and yeah, it's well worth a listen, guys. So go over to that or your favourite podcast platform, have a look and check that out. Cleaning Up Business podcast. So that's going to wrap up another week of We Are JCD. Hit that like and subscribe button. Enjoy your weekend. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and I will catch you guys on